Hello my friends, welcome to my podcast. This is episode number 44 and it's my space on the internet where I talk about knitting, crochet, sewing and share my projects with you. Thanks for stopping by and I hope we can keep some nice company for the next 40 minutes or so. I'm guessing, but often my podcasts are around about the 45-minute mark, which isn't actually deliberate, just how it works out. So I think that's quite a nice length of time. Are you well? I hope you are. I'm fine, thank you for asking. Got lots of things to share with you, and actually because my podcasting is a bit sporadic, every time I go to record I get all flustered and can't remember what I should be saying. But you don't mind, do you? You don't mind. Just pull up a chair, get a cup of tea, and we'll have a chat. But I'm Betsymakes, actually. I'll say that again. I'm Betsymakes. My real name is Sam, but you can call me Sam or Betsy. I don't really mind at all. And Betsymakes is my username pretty much everywhere. I'm most active on Instagram, and I do like to go over to Ravelry as often as I can. And I have an Etsy shop which is Betsymakes as well, so you can find me around the place. Today I'll talk about some finished things that I've got to show you. I think just one work in progress, actually. No, tell a lie, 2 works in progress. And I've got a giveaway as well to share with you, so that's exciting. And I've got some shop talk which I will do at the end. So I'm going to start off with little Bamboo here. Isn't she cute? She's a little crochet sheep, and I made her at Easter time. I put a little pink bit of blossom caught in her wool, and she's just adorable. The pattern is called Sheep, and it's by Christy Tullis. I will add links and whatnot as usual. Usually I like to link to my Ravelry page, project page, because then you can look to see where the pattern originates from, what yarn I've used, hook size and stuff. So yeah, each project page does hold a fair amount of information. This is probably my most favourite amigurumi project, because sometimes toys just don't work out for me. But I do follow that amigurumi hashtag on Instagram, so a lot of things pop up in my feed. Some of the dolls and toys that are made by people are just amazing. They almost look lifelike. So I'm really inspired. But my friend Ali, she makes a lot of amigurumi toys, and she inspired me to make little Bamboo here. I'm just trying to think. I didn't bring the armband with me, but it's Sublime. Oh, do you know, I've completely forgotten. I do apologise for not getting all my information ready for you. I will make sure that I either put a message at the bottom of the screen of what yarn I've used. I know it's Serdar Sublime, I think it's called. Ali actually gave me the ivory colour, and I had the grey colour already. It's the same brand, so it was perfect for this little sheep. Yeah, I will let you know exactly what yarn it is if you're interested. It's beautiful, actually. It's lovely. Oh, she's so cute. Look at her little face. Her head stays upright quite well, so that's always good. And you can see the back of her head. It's all the bobble stitches that give the impression of her sort of curly wool. I used a tiny hook. I think I used a 2.5, and this is DK yarn, but I had to get a nice tight gauge, which is, I think, one of the secrets behind amigurumi, successful amigurumi anyway. I think the arms and legs have worked out nice, and the face, it's nice and tight, but I have got gaps in the body. I just don't know how I could have not got that, because I couldn't have gone down a smaller hook size, I don't think. But yeah, she's lovely. I'm really pleased with how she turned out. Like I said, I did her for Easter, and she's gorgeous. In fact, the pattern designer has got a lot of really nice amigurumi patterns. She's worth checking out, Christy Tullis. So yeah, I think there's a smaller version of this sheep as well, but I love her. She's lovely. She's so lovely. So yeah, that's my first finished thing. I'm going to sit her down next to me here so she doesn't get lonely. Stay there. I'll show you some more amigurumi actually as my next finished thing. Again, oh, I do apologise for bending over, but everything's on the floor around me. Again, this is an Easter thing, and I just crocheted up some little eggs. I'll just show you. It's a little crochet egg with some ribbon threaded through there. Quite simple, but it looks so nice in the egg cup. I made that peach coloured one, and a yellow and a white one. So I know Easter's come and gone, but I have typed the pattern up for this. I will be adding it to my patterns on Ravelry and Love Crochet. I thought, oh, I've missed Easter. The pattern needs to be available before Easter for people to make them, although they don't take long to make. Obviously, they're only tiny things. So my mind was thinking perhaps I'll do it next year, but then I thought, well, you know what, I might as well upload it now anyway. It'll probably lay it a bit dormant because it's a seasonal thing, but then it just means it's ready for next Easter. So yeah, cute little ribbon eggs there. I did some other, because what I'd got was it was Hobbycraft, and it was a bag of polystyrene or styrofoam eggs, they call them, and they're all different sizes. So I raided my crochet cotton stash. I've got some metallic yarn that I've used, that one. I've got 3 metallic ones actually. Cute little eggs. So they look almost like chocolate eggs wrapped in foil, don't they? I did one with a little bit of embroidery on the front there. That's sweet. And then just some plain ones as well. And I just had them in a little bowl. Let me show you the bowl actually. Just had them collected in a little bowl on the side. I had this one hanging, and another one I think hanging on my Easter tree, which is basically just some artificial blossom that I picked up some time ago. It's quite long stalks. I have it in a high vase, a tall vase, and I just hang eggs. So a few crochet eggs and other sorts of Easter egg things. So yeah, they're quite cute to have, but like I say, these, I suppose you could put a loop on the top to hang these ones up. These are about 4 centimeters, these ones. I don't know what size they are, maybe 2.5. They're really sweet. And these little ones, the metallic ones I did, are tiny. So yeah, so actually I kind of missed the boat with Easter with that one, but they'll be next year, so I'm not too fussed. that was quite a nice little project to make. Very seasonal. Is that seasonal? Yeah. You can tell I'm a bit nervous today, can't you? It's just simply because I just don't have the opportunity to record very often. So when I do, it feels like the first time. Every single time. A couple of other finished things that I'd like to talk about I don't have with me. Both the socks. The first one, I've got the yarn actually. I knit some socks, vanilla socks, very plain, in the Novita Seven Brothers yarn. There's that one there. Which is a lovely Aran weight, woolly, rustic yarn. Novita Yarns did send me a selection of yarns. They have done it a couple of times. And I used this one. I don't know what colour it is. I think probably the colour number is 6715, although it may have a name. They do Novita yarns both in John Lewis in the UK, and Deramores has started to stock Novita yarns as well, which is good. And they were a quick knit, being Aran weight, very quick. And they were for my eldest daughter's boyfriend, so for Joe, Sophie's boyfriend. And I had to guess his foot size. I hadn't got a clue. But I have got a picture of my son modelling them for you, so that will be inserted. So you can see what they look like. But they came out really well. Just a basic pair of thick, warm socks, which hopefully Joe will appreciate as the weather gets colder later in the year. Don't think he'll need them for the time being. But yeah, really enjoyed knitting these socks because they knit up so quick being Aran weight. That's what I was going to say. The 100-gram ball wasn't enough to make the pair, so I purchased myself another ball, and this is what I've got left. But I've got some nice plain cream colour that I could match with that perhaps for another pair or something. But anyway, that will go into stash for a little while. So that was a nice project. The second pair of socks that I can't show you, which I did finish a little while ago, there's a little bit of a backstory. So I love my music, listen to lots of different music, and I often listen to music when I'm dyeing yarn. And I was listening to the latest Katie Tunstall CD. I've talked about this before, so you probably know what I'm going to say. But basically, the artwork on the CD, but the CD's called Wax, is like pinks and greys. And I took inspiration for some yarn and dyed up the yarn in pinks and greys and named it Wax. I then knit a pair of socks using the slip stitch lines stitch pattern. I think it's Du Sabin Maison. I can't remember. I'll have to check out my Ravelry project page. But yeah, I did knit some socks. They came out really nice. They had a sort of a darker grey contrast heel and toe, if I remember rightly. And the reason I don't have them to show you is because I actually sent them to Katie Tunstall. I didn't say anything because I felt a bit silly, but I sent them to the Cambridge Junction, which is where she was playing, and myself and my daughter Mia went to see her play there, and it was brilliant. It was a fantastic gig. So I'd sent them ahead, care of the Cambridge Junction. And I assumed she got them. I didn't know until a couple of weeks ago. She did put a post on her Instagram feed to say thank you for knitting them for her. I was so, honestly, I just could not function. I picked up my phone, and the notifications, when you're tagged in a post, you would know your notifications appear on the front of your phone. And, you know, Katie Tunstall mentioned you in a... I I couldn't speak, I could barely breathe, I couldn't even read the notification properly because I'd seen what it said, I realised what it was about, and it was a nice picture of, I'm assuming Katie's feet, or somebody's feet wearing them. She said they fitted her perfectly, which I was so chuffed about, near the album cover. So yeah, like I said, I couldn't function. I was, my daughter was, I was going, Mia, 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 Mia. She's going, what's the matter? Oh dear. So I was quite starstruck and really quite excited and totally giddy. Now I feel all embarrassed. But yeah, it was really lovely to know that she received the socks, that they fit her, and for her to say thank you on her Instagram feed was just a wonderful bonus. So yeah, that was really, really cool. So they're the two things that I don't have to show you. But anyway, I do have a pair of socks that I finished that I can show you. Let me just get all the bits. So these, oh, these are gorgeous. See, the trouble is I finish things and I tend to sort of put them in one of these cubby holes or something like that, ready to talk about them on the podcast. And then because I don't record frequently, they kind of sit there, and I almost forgot about these. And when I pulled them out to get ready to record today, I was like, wow, these are lovely. I don't think I've even blocked them actually. I'm pretty sure I haven't, but they look so nice. Look, beautiful, aren't they? So they've got the stitch pattern running down the side, but they don't have them on the inside, so they are an actual pair of socks rather than two the same. Oh, they're gorgeous. Look, the stitch pattern is just beautiful, isn't it? And the yarn, oh, the yarn is Sherry Iris. It's Pride and Prejudice Mary. So it's a 4-ply 75-25 superwash merino nylon mix, which is quite standard, but the colour isn't standard. The colour is beautiful. It's 100 gram skein that I purchased, and I do tend to split the skein into 250 grams so that I can knit the socks concurrently. And I've got a little bit left of each ball, which I'm not quite sure how much I've got left, but that will go into stash. But yeah, I saw this on Sherry's Instagram feed, this colour, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. It's just so beautiful and delicate and lovely. And I think I checked back into her shop 2 or 3 days later and it was there, so I thought, right, that's it, I'm going to buy it. And the perfect pattern is Winter's Frost. So this is the pattern I used. They look pretty much the same as the picture, don't they? And this is by lovely Olivia Villarreal. Olivia Villarreal. I don't know how to pronounce her surname, but Olivia is this handmade life on Instagram. So Winter's Frost is the pattern. It's beautiful, really beautiful, and available on Ravelry. And these are the gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous socks on my lovely sock blockers that I got from Alex Workshop Designs on Etsy. Yeah. Yeah. They're just stunning, actually. I think I did a modification. I think I did a different cuff. I think I did a slightly deeper one by a few more rows, and I did a twisted rib. But that's the only modification I did. The rest of it is as pattern. The toes are nice, aren't they? Nice round toe there. So extremely delighted with them. I don't think I'd make a very good job of picking up the stitches when there's a little garter ridge there. It's not the best, I wouldn't say. I'm a bit more used to having the slip stitch at the end of the row when you're doing the heel flap, but they're okay. I do love this. I absolutely love that. So yeah, now I've shown you here and talked about them, I will be able to wear them. Oh, they're lovely. Really good. I like how Sherry does the yarn band with some zigzag there. So that's a finished pair of socks there. And the next finished thing. Oh, by the way, do you like my cardigan? This is something I knit quite a while ago, and the pattern is the Ramona cardigan. So yeah, I do wear it quite a lot actually. It's one of my ones that I do wear frequently. It's got the, I know I was going to say it's got the grey band at the bottom, but it hasn't. It's just the grey neck, front band and cuffs, but not hem. Right, so these are some little socks I knitted out of the Friends sock set that I sell in my Etsy shop. I've got some more going in. I've got a shop update on Thursday the 9th of May 2019 at 6 p.m. I normally do shop updates at 7, but my daughter Mia has an awards evening at school and it starts at 7. So I thought, well, I'll do the shop update at 6. And I do like to plan my shop updates when I know I can get to the post office the next day, because it's nice just to get the first lot out. I get orders in all the time, but if I'm doing an actual shop update in my Etsy shop, I tend to have a reasonable amount. So yeah, I'll be able to go to the post office on Friday if I make any sales, which hopefully I will. But I was selling in fact, I know I said I'd do Etsy stuff at the end, so I hope you don't mind, but just to illustrate my point, I'll get one of the sets. This is the same colour. You wouldn't believe it though, this has come out much brighter. I do apologise, but I do like that. So this colour, so we've got 2 50-gram skeins plus 2 10-gram contrast micro minis in there. This colour is Rupert Gibbon and Spider, and it has come out a bit brighter than the first lot, as you can see. It might be because I dried these out in the sunshine and these were dried indoors, but I prefer this one actually, if I'm honest. And the idea is, it's 4-ply yarn, so basically you've got 120 grams of yarn there, and the idea is you could make a pair of socks, you know, a standard size pair of socks using all of it. And as I said when I was talking about the Winter's Frost socks, I do like to split my 100-gram skein into 2 50s anyway, so I can knit the socks concurrently. So if you've got this, you could you're at that stage already. But you can also knit a shorty pair of socks with this and give these to someone else, to your friend, hence why they're called Friends sock set. So I stole one out of these out of my shop, and I've knit this pair of socks, and I've given the other half to lovely Sandra. As you know, Sandra is my lovely fibrista sister and she's a good friend, so I gave her the other half of my set. And I did see today on Ravelry that she has started to knit a pair of socks in it, so that's exciting. And I knit these in my half. So they're just little ankle socks. Got a little twisted rib at the top using the contrast to cast on, and for the toes. And if I show you, this is what I've got left out of, because I even split the 50-gram skein into 225 so I could knit concurrently. I didn't bother with the contrast though. So I have got small amounts left over. So I have typed this pattern up as well, but I need to finish it off, do some photographs and just test a couple of elements of it. So what I was going to say was it will be in size small, medium and large. These are medium 64 stitch, but because there is some left over, that's should be fine for the large size as well. And I do knit fairly loose actually. If you check out my gauge, when you see it, you'll see that I think it's 8 stitches per inch, and I think probably 9 is a bit more standard, but it is what it is. Just take a sip of my tea actually. I've got it in this cup in the attempt to keep it warm. Yes, it's still nice and hot, so that's good. Yeah, so it's a simple pattern. It's an 8-row pattern repeat with the little holes in that I wanted to sort of look a bit like sort of polka dots really. And then I've done this sort of arrow shaped toe, which when it's on it's not pointy and arrow shaped, it sort of goes a bit more like that actually. In the contrast, a basic heel flap and square heel turn, and I'm delighted. These are really cute on. These are so cute. There's going to have to be another pair made because I think they're lovely. They just look really sweet. So I'm really pleased with how this has come out. I love the colour and the way the colours go in the sock itself. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. I'd like to think that I can get this pattern published soon, but I definitely will be letting you know on Instagram when it's out there, in case you're interested and you would like to purchase the pattern. And you know, if you wanted to make a longer leg, you know, a bit more that sort of size, it's just knit further before you start doing the heel. It is that basic. It's quite simple, but I just think they just look really nice. Yeah, I'm really delighted with those. And I do like, this is my perfect sock base, and it is nice and soft. I have blocked these. Thought I ought to show willing. Yeah. And when I dye the sets up, I tend to wash them together with the contrast deliberately, because I think, well, they're going to be sitting together probably. I mean, not necessarily you can do anything you like with it once you bought it. Use a contrast for something else. But they possibly could be knitted together or crocheted together. So it's a good idea to make sure they wash nicely together, which they should do because I've already washed them. Yeah. So these are called the True Friends socks. True Friends socks. And yeah, pattern to be available soon, I promise. So, is that all my finished objects? Well, yes and no. I'll go on to my works in progress next. And I've just noticed that the light's flashing on my microphone, so I'm assuming that means it needs charging, but hopefully it'll be alright for the rest of this recording. But I'll show you this. So I'm in the process of crocheting a blanket called the Leaves and Lace blanket from this lovely Hafner from this book here. That's a picture of the project in the book, which is beautiful, isn't it? So it's made up of all these mandalas, lots of different colours. I've made quite a pile. It's 24 here. I think it says 38, that you need 38 complete motifs, because there's some half ones you need to do as well to straighten off the edges. And I was thinking, do I really need to do 38? But I think I will, because when I laid these out, even though there seems a lot, they didn't really come out that big. So just checking I'm still recording. Sorry, I am. So yeah, I think I will make 38 altogether. But I've been using a lot of the paint box yarn, the cotton paint box yarns to do it, because they just come in such gorgeous colours. So many lovely colours to choose from. But I've made one in each of the 50-gram balls that I've got. So I've started to raid my stash for more cottons, which is good fun. And I found this lovely colour. I'll show you this. Even though it's a DK weight, which is what the paint box is as well. Well, I haven't got a clue what this is. I've forgotten to. I've just picked it up really. I know it's like an organic cotton one. I haven't really taken too much notice of the armband, even if I've got the armband, I'm not sure. Anyway, but it's a DK weight, and the size of the mandala came out considerably bigger than the other ones I've made, and I thought that might cause a problem if I try to incorporate it in a blanket. So what I've done instead is I've put a little border around there, sort of made the grey is how the border will be, the joining on the blanket itself, but then I just made up this little cute little white edge in here, and just in the process of blocking it. So yeah, like I say, it's come up quite a bit bigger, but I just thought that would make a nice little doily to go on the table under a plant or vase of flowers or something. So yeah, it's still damp at the moment. Oops, typical, I've got my jumper on it. I always do that on these pins. I'll take the pin out because they've got like a loopy head to them. Do you know what I mean? If you use these blocking pins, you probably do know what I mean. That's it, I've got it out. So I'll put it back in there. Do you like my blocking boards? I've got 4 of these, the bigger size ones, because I have got some smaller versions. These are just play mats that are like got jigsaw edges. You can fit them all together. But specifically for this project, I found these larger size ones, and they got pretty birds on one side. But I just thought I'd put it on the plain side so I could see the pattern. So yeah, like I say, it was too big to incorporate into the rest of the blanket. I think it would cause me problems, so I decided I wouldn't use it for the blanket itself, and rather than just leave it sitting around, I thought I'd put a little border on it, so that's nice. So yeah, that's my leaves and lace blanket, which is progressing gently. I do make the mandalas here and there. As you can see, I've got plenty to prove that point. I've still got a few more to make, and I still haven't decided what yarn colour I'm going to use for all the joining. So what I'm talking about is, where's the picture again? Oh, where are you, picture? There you are. So all this that goes around there. And there's a border on it as well, so I'd need quite a lot, so it's something I'm going to have to purchase. It will be the paint box yarns, which is Love Crochet or Love Knitting's own brand. It will be that, but which colour? A nice cream has been used on this one, so I might use cream as well, but we'll see. Sip of my tea again. It's keeping it nice and hot, that cup. Just found that in the back of the cupboard. Okay, so my next work in progress is including a giveaway. okay, because I was gifted the pattern by lovely Sandra Cherry Heart, as you know. She's my fibrista sister, and she gifted me the, hold on, oh, so professional, isn't it, her Ziggy Interrupted pattern, which I have printed off. It follows on from her Getting Ziggy shawl pattern, which I have crocheted, and I will insert a photo. I did that some time ago, and this is a follow-on from there, and it's a scarf as opposed to a shawl, although you'd wear it in a similar way really. And it's beautiful, and I've seen, you know, when I've visited her in the past, I've seen it in progress and her design process and why she's done what she's done and things like that, so it's interesting to know about that. So I think, so it's a 5-colour shawl. I guess you could make it in less colours if you wanted to, but it is designed as a 5-coloured shawl. So I'll show you. It took me ages to decide what colours to use. I think because it's 5 as well, because there's 5 colours, it takes a lot of thinking about. Sandra gifted me the pattern shortly after she released it, which was really kind of her. And I thought, well, I'd really love to make that. So I had a rummage around in my stash. I thought it was a good stash buster project, and I came up with 5. So this peach is just a yarn I dyed when I very first started playing with dyes on yarn, and I like peach, I like oranges and peaches, and so I dyed up this fingering weight peach yarn with sort of specks of teal in there. And then I've got this lovely one, which is Sarah's Texture Crafts, and Sarah doesn't dye anymore. She's disappeared off the radar, unfortunately. So but this is a lovely, I think that is, yeah, it's a Bambino 4-ply, and I think it's yeah, it's superwash BFL 80% and then 20% bamboo. It's lovely. It's quite plump and bouncy. So those 2. Then this one is Life in the Long Grass, and it's colour Rose Hip. Oops. I will hold that the right way up. There. And that's beautiful colours in that. But it's got the tealy green in it, so that works well with these. Then I've got a Wool Barn yarn. In fact, that's it caked up. I've got 2. I think this is from ages ago. Look at that tag. I know Maya doesn't use these tags anymore. So that's it in the skein, and it's Stardust Socks. It's got some stellina in it, and it is colour Mist. So I'm using, I had 2 of those, so I'm using one of those for this shawl. So it's nice delicate pale blue and beige colour. And then last but not least is this pretty yarn, which is Herb's Black Regina. And the colour, it's Hazel Soft Sock, fingering weight, and the colour is Remember Me. And I do remember Herb's Black Regina, but I haven't seen her on Instagram lately, but I don't know if that's just because I've just missed her. Because Instagram's funny. It's sometimes when life gets in the way, which unfortunately it does, I don't perhaps log in to have a look at my feed and all the pictures that come up as often as I'd like to. And Instagram sort of almost gets a bit funny about that. So when I do get round to having a look, it doesn't really show me much. But then if I persist and keep going back, suddenly more and more pictures will come up, all in funny orders. you know, so somebody would have posted a picture and they will specify the day, a special occasion or something, and it could well be a week ago, but it's only just come up on my feed. So I don't get all the logarithms of Instagram. And so I could search specifically Regina, which I think I will do to find out what she's up to. But in the meantime, can I do 5? Do you think I can do 5? Hold on. Wait. Ta-da! I can. So that's the 5. That's the 5 yarns altogether. Okay. Let me put them back in the bag actually. And this is where I've got to. So I've kind of done the first section really. It starts off with the little motifs here, the tiny little motifs here. Then it goes into the zigzaggy pattern where it stripes the colours. Oh, doesn't it look lovely? Oh, and then I've done the second panel of little motifs, and I've just done the first colour of the next chevron part. Now I just think it looks gorgeous, and I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I'm really, really pleased. I had a bit of a false start. I had chosen some mohair to incorporate in it, but then I realised it was the wrong weight yarn, so I quickly got rid of that. And you do start with the little motifs. Where's my bag gone? So I started off, and in the pattern the motifs are 2 colours. The first round is 1 colour and the second round is another colour, as you can see I've done here. And what I didn't like about this was I was sewing them together with the end. So as I finished the motif off, or the little granny square off, I'd use the end to sew it to the neighbouring square. And I think it probably looks alright on the screen, but I wasn't really happy with where they meet. I can never get sewn granny squares to look that good actually. I wasn't really happy with that, and truth be told I did find it a bit fiddly as well. And that made me sad because I really wanted to do the pattern, the design justice, the project justice, because it's Sandra's pattern and she was kind enough to give it to me, and I really wanted to make it work. And I've seen her finished scarf, and it's so beautiful, absolutely stunning. And I thought I really want to do this, and I was just struggling really. I think I wasn't happy with the way I was sewing the little squares together. So I decided to cheat and just do each motif as 1 colour. Okay, which, because the yarn is quite variegated, I think I can get away with that. I mean, it would have looked nice both ways actually, but I am quite happy with it being just 1 colour. And also, instead of sewing them together, I'm crocheting them together as I go. And that is a method of joining squares that I've just learnt recently. Again from Sandra, it's her, I think she calls it a modular join, which she used on her Battenberg blanket. And I promise I'll give you all the information and links and whatnot. I promise. Might not be till 2020, but at some point I will. So yeah, let me show you the back actually. You can see, I just find it really satisfying to join them this way, and they come out neat. I like the pattern that it forms in the corners. And once I'd decided to do that and ditch the original way. I was much happier. Once you have finished your little 3 rows of motifs and you're onto the rows of chevrons, it goes quite quickly. I'm using a 3mm hook to do this, which is what's recommended in Sandra's pattern, and that's what I've used for the first lot of motifs and the zigzaggy bit, the chevron bit. But when I came to do my second lot of motifs, I did go up to a 3.5 because I thought the ones at the bottom look a bit tight and short. I've blocked it. I deliberately blocked the first bit because I was a bit worried it would all sort of come in a bit. But I think I can get away with it because it's folded up, so they're pretty much the same size. So yeah, I think I've got away with it, but from now on I'll use 3.5 just for the motifs and the 3mm hook for the row crochet. But I just think that looks lovely. I'm really loving this project now. Look, it's going to just look better and better as it grows, isn't it? It's just glorious. And I'm really happy with my colour choices. I just think they're gorgeous. So yeah. So thank you, Sandra, for gifting me the pattern. But she's also said I can give one away as a giveaway. So that's exciting. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be giving away a pattern, I need to have something extra. So I've sewn a tote bag. I hope it's not too creased actually. So I've sewn this patchwork tote bag in a chevron pattern as well, because it just makes sense. It's quite a nice size because the bag I'm using for my project is this one that was given to me by a work colleague quite a long time ago, and it's a decent size because you've got five skeins of yarn that you need to have there, plus the pattern and everything else, all the paraphernalia. So you need a decent size project bag to do it. So I thought a nice tote bag. It's got a little box bottom, so it's sort of quite spacious. I've lined it. It's lined in fabric, but it's got no interlining in, so you can, I mean, you could use it as a shopper because it would fold down quite well to keep in your handbag. I've put just a basic pocket in there. It's lined in mainly white and the grey webbing handles. So the giveaway is this physical item of a patchwork bag made by me, and you'll also get a copy of the Ziggy Interrupted Scarf, crochet scarf pattern, which I will ask Sandra to send to you via Ravelry once I've drawn a winner. So the rules are, I will set up a thread in my Ravelry group, which is imaginatively named Betsymakes podcast group, and I will put a prompt in there that I haven't thought of yet. I was trying to think, okay, can I think of something before I start talking about it, but I can't think of anything. I'll put some sort of question, some sort of prompt in the thread, and so if you could leave an answer in there, 1 per person please, no chatter if you don't mind. Yeah, just 1 entry each please. I'll send it anywhere in the world. It's not restricted to the UK where I am, and obviously the pattern will be emailed anyway, so or sent via Ravelry. But I'm happy to post this to wherever you may be. But I will draw a winner. So I will keep it open for till the end of May, I think. yeah, so I'll put a note in my phone diary to draw a winner on the last day of May, and I'll announce the winner on my next podcast, which I'd like to think would be the beginning of June, but I'm making no promises because it'll only stress me out. So yeah, so you'll have the tote bag and the Ziggy interrupted pattern as the prize. So yeah, please pop over to Ravelry, and I'll try and remember to put all the links underneath the YouTube video, so it's easy for you just to go over there and post your comment. But yeah, I was going to say you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, but actually I'm not going to. You can subscribe if you'd like to, and it's very much appreciated, but you know, you don't have to. You can just pop by when you like, watch me if you want, but you don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. So yeah, as Ali says, do watch Ali, who's Little Drops of Wonderful. She's Starry-Eyed Sally on Instagram, and she's been doing her April vlogs, which, well, I just remember 6th of May today, and I still haven't watched all of them, but I do enjoy watching them actually. Ali is the type of person that just makes me feel better when I watch her vlogs or her podcast, because she is just a really nice person, and just enjoy watching with her girls and Dan, her husband. So I've been enjoying those. I want to finish off watching them soon, but what did she say? It was destroy the like button, dudes, I think she said, or demolish the like button or something, I don't know, but she just made me laugh so much. She's so funny, and I really enjoy her recordings. So I think she might watch me, but I'm not sure. But hello Ali and Dan and Phoebe and Lilia, hello from Bedford. So that's all I've got to show you in regards to my projects. As usual, I've always got a lot on, but thanks for watching and staying with me if you plan to go now, because this is going to be my shop talk section, where I talk about all the things I will be listing in my next shop update. So cheerio if you're off, but if you're staying, let me show you what I've got. So as I was already talking about the Friends sock set, I will just show you. I've just repeated the Mother's Day colours, which is so pretty. I am going to do this on full skeins, and I've ordered some DK weight as well. I'm really tempted to do this colour on DK, so I think it'd make a really pretty cardigan. So yeah, they're the Mother's Day colours because they sold really quick last time. This is the Rupert, Gibbon and Spider colourway. As I said, it came out a bit brighter this time, but I prefer this one. So there's those. I've still got these in the shop from last time. This is Lumberjack, which was actually based on a checked shirt I've got. So you've got the mustard colour and then the blue for the contrast. And this is First Signs of Spring, which I originally had apricot minis in there, but there wasn't much of a contrast between that and the bigger skeins. So I decided to take that out. I made an executive decision and dyed up some brown contrast because I think that works so much better. The apricot, which is used in the main colour, it just wasn't contrasting enough, I don't think, so it didn't look that good. But I'm much happier now I've got the brown contrast in there. So those are the sock sets, the French sock sets that are in the shop. The update I'm doing is I don't know if I've said this already or not. I might have done. Thursday the 9th. Yeah, I have, yeah. Thursday the 9th of May at 6 p.m. That's when. So I'll list these, save them as drafts, and then at 6 o'clock press publish on all of them. I've got sets of the micro minis. So these again are the 10 gram micro minis. Okay, and just various colours. I let myself be free when I'm dyeing things like this, and just do. I feel like I love this one at the end. It's like a bee. Hang on, let me show you that side. I love that. I don't know if you can see it well in the. Probably shouldn't have kept it in the cellophane, but it's wrapped now. Yeah. I was listening to John Mayer CD when I was dyeing these, so just for the sake of naming something, so I know what I'm doing, I've called these Mayer set. I love John Mayer. Yeah. So there's some of those. Bag wise, I've got. This is like a small stalwart bag, so I've got the bigger stalwart bags. Well, there's not many left actually, I need to make some more, but this is a smaller version in a lovely yellow with birds on. So it's lined in a nice yellow lining as well. Cheer you up, won't it, on a dull day like today. It's got a pocket, a white pocket in there, which it's like 2 pockets actually, the way it is. I don't know if you can actually see that. Sort of can. And drawstring, and a little handle. So it's a bit smaller than the stalwart bags I make in the canvas. In her taxi. But yeah, so there's some of those in the shop. Well, there will be. They go nice with that. So, can I tempt you? Can I tempt you? Nice bag, nice project. I'm wondering if I've got time, I'll make some DPN sock cozies, whatever, holders, whatever I call them. These things, I'll make some of those in that yellow if I've got time. So I've got a couple of these. So let me show you the bag first. So I've got this lovely bee print. Look, isn't it gorgeous? Look at the little bees all over it. So cute. The hexagons in the background. Actually, this reminds me a bit of the leaves and lace blanket I'm making. The hexagons. So yeah. So this is the bag. It's lined in lavender, of course. That makes complete sense, doesn't it? Because there's bees all over it. I've got pockets or compartments. Again, I don't know if you'll be able to see. Let me fold this down, because this is quite nice about these. These are interlined, so you can fold it down and have it like a little bucket that you can work directly out of, and then there's sort of like fabric compartments in there, or pockets, whatever you want to call them, because I've decided that I'm going to do some sort of pocket configuration on all my bags from now on. I never used to, but I just think that some sort of pocket is needed. So again, these are drawstring, and they do sit really cute. I do like this shape. And so these will be sold, the bag and a DPN holder. Comes as a set. These ones that come in the set are the longer version for the 8-inch DPNs, but I've got a couple of, just literally 2 smaller ones which are going to be sold separately. I thought it makes more sense to do the longer ones for a set, because they're still suitable for the shorter DPNs, because if you look, the poppers are still the same, and your sock project will hang from there. So yeah, I've got a few of those going in. I can't resist anything that's got a bee on it. I just love bees. If somebody said to me, what's your spirit animal? I know a bee's an insect, but I would say a bee because I just love them so much. They make me happy. And anything could be bee themed, I love. So, have I shown you everything? I think I have. I think so. I don't know. I just so much happens in between recording that I can never remember what I've told you and what I haven't. I think on my last one actually, I said that there was a couple of things I was talking about as projects coming up. One was a dress that I wanted to cut out. That's right, because my dining room table wasn't available to use to cut out this dress because I'd had to dismantle it to make space for when our new bathroom was delivered. Well, so that was the end of March. Well, the bathroom's been fitted and that's all done, so which is much nicer now, much nicer than what it was. And the table, I put the table back together and I did cut out the dress. It's over there, but I've not started to sew it yet. So maybe that's something for next time. It's the Lulu dress I think I was mentioning. And I think I mentioned a crochet shawl I wanted to start, and I was talking about the yarn I was going to use. That kind of went to the wayside because then Sandra came up with this and I thought, oh no, I'm going to do this first. But yeah, I will be going back to that. So if you did watch last episode, that's just where those particular projects are at. They still will happen. But yeah, so that's everything I think. It's been nice to chat with you. I hope I haven't gabbled too much. Let me do a tea test. Hold on. That's just a bit below optimum drinking temperature. So I will bid you farewell so that I can finish off my tea, and while this is uploading I will put another coat of paint on the bathroom door, because while we employed plumbers to fit the bathroom, all the little finishing off bits are left to me, of course. So I just want to get that, and the door's been without any paint on for a little while, so I just need to get that job done. So yes, I'll go and put another coat of paint on the bathroom door. I lead such an exciting life, don't I? I mean, honestly, 1 minute Katie Tunstall's mentioned me on her Instagram post, and the next I'm putting the undercoat and primer on a bathroom door. So yeah, that's life, isn't it? I hope you're having a good time too, whether it is painting doors or whatever. And I'll see you next time, whenever that will be. Bye.